All right. Hi.
Hi.
I am Mr. _ Brood, and I am joined together with my great friend Fireball.
Hello.
We are gonna do one of the better games made in mankind history. So we're gonna do Dora the Explorer story mode. We're gonna go and
one of the many categories.
One of the many categories, actually. So without further ado, can I get a countdown in 3, 2, 1, go!
Come on, chat, vámonos! So, little explanation right off the bat. We are currently in. We're currently in Japan, so we're making our way to Paris currently. And we have to evade some dolphins, some ships on the way currently with our good friend Swiper.
Yes. So, if you saw the amazing TV show, then you know that Swiper.
Oh, I know this from Japanese stuff. Yeah.
This is going well so far. So Swiper is obviously your best friend, as everyone knows. We are indeed making our way to Paris from some unknown location where Dora hangs out.
Woo!
Alright, so we have to collect some objects here, which is very important. I hope I'm going the right way.
As last year, you can already see the sensor workout being buffed.
Yeah. Dora prepared more than I did for this run. If you look at her biceps there. Oh yeah. So this is one of the many strats where Swiper goes out of bounds in order to grab the cheese. It's actually quite precise. Normally at home I use my 144 Hz monitor for the precise setups. Unfortunately I have to do with these amazing ViewSonic monitors, which are actually way better than mine at home. But that doesn't matter. ViewSonic, please sponsor me.
So this is really a critical section. There are a couple of random riddles coming up, and Brood has to react really fast on this so he can actually have the perfect line on this. So there's a 1 in 3 million chance that he has actually the right position at the right time, but thankfully we are through this. He's going to the next boss fight, or the first boss fight, is coming up really soon.
The first boss fight is by far the hardest.
Yeah. So right after he skips through the fog gate, he's going to move swap to the from these little symbols here to an arrow, and with this, and together with the Ring of Vamonos, he's going to catch some thieves here. By holding the button, he also increases the clicking power.
So now is phase 2 happening. Phase 2 incredibly increases the difficulty. So here's one of the only speed strats in the game. The hitboxes are not very good, just like the game. So you can select the thing earlier, but who cares about strats?
Whew, first boss done, please. Yeah. So we are currently on our way to Africa, I think.
Yes,
to
Tanzania
Africa.
is our next stop.
Suddenly on the way to Paris, we are going to move swap again into a boat.
Into a boat, yes.
As you can see, the loading times on this game are fantastic.
Phenomenal.
You don't see
ahead of its time, truly.
No frame losses, no drops. Amazing.
Why am I doing this?
I heard they used a whole orchestra for just these sounds.
Oh my god. Fucking joke. Alright, so this is by far the hardest level. So all these levels are randomly generated. So I had to look at the seams going from one block to the other to identify the RNG here. Luckily we got great RNG here. I knew exactly where to go.
Which route are you doing today?
6 actually.
Okay. What stats are you this time choosing from, or do you increase? What stats do you increase on this route this time?
Epicness.
Epicness. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
So corner cutting is by far the most crucial part, getting the best of the best times in this. I'm going the wrong way, am I not? Oh, no, so, very important that swipe goes over the thing here. So I'm just walking around. Very cool swiper, thank you very much.
Swiper boy.
Yeah, so upcoming is the part that I had the most trouble with learning the game. It is counting the things.
Please, can the audience help us a little bit? How many?
2.
Please count with us.
1. And the 5th one is like right down there. It's
yeah! Alright, next boss fight.
Yeah, the puzzle with the elephants took me quite a while to figure out.
Yeah.
It is
you're sweating a little bit after this one.
Thank you very much. I didn't mess up, no. Oh my god.
It's really hard to actually see where he's going.
It is. But if you look very careful, you can see. Oh, and this is a trick one. He actually doesn't move, even though it does look like it. Yes. So the soundtrack is actually one of the better ones actually ever to be produced. It won numerous prizes throughout the history of this great video game.
And where we're currently going now is?
It's Russia. So to all my Ruski friends, hi, Privyat.
So in general, what's going? Oh!
Literally splicing on the
go.
go.
Before
World records coming up, boyos.
So we're coming up to a section now that is really crucial, and I'm going to explain this while Brood is concentrating on the run.
Good. Yeah, it's very technical.
There's one thing coming up really soon that's called the
It's the infamous, really.
The infamous Vladimir 1 cycle. And while Brood is concentrating on getting it down right away, I'm going to... we have a second part first.
Yes, this is a great 2 auto-scrollers in a row, which is better than one auto-scroller.
The only part we actually have... If you love auto-scrollers...
This is definitely your jam.
Yeah, this is your game, man.
Alright, so basically after at the top you see actually like the bar progressing. I'm actually not progressing though. Yeah, it's a very genius part. It only updates every once in a while, which we can do some sick tricks with, like... Yeah, no. So at the end here is by far the hardest strat in the run, which is actually a hard strat, like without even joking. It's the Vladimir 1 cycle where you have to make a puzzle, and luckily there are some mathematical equations.
We learned from last year that we want to improve this, and with my good friend Mario, who's studying quantum mechanics, we actually, can we see this? Yeah, we can see this. So we have this little equation here. When you see, you can, if you use, if you use, you have to start 420 seconds after Brood started the game. You have to use, need to use some quantum mechanics. You have the Dora formula here going on, and with the space-time, the gravity, and some other swiper forces, you have to experience with, together with the matter and the Higgs formula, you're coming exactly to 69 frames that you need to count down after you're starting Vladimir cycle to have the Vladimir 1 cycle. Thank you.
I'm so done. Oh, we don't have to mention that I did mess up twice during your incredible explanation. Math was never really my strong part.
Yeah, that's why I got together with Mario. He's a student in quantum mechanics. He knows the stuff. We actually came up with this formula, and actually even solved it. So
if you have any sense of responsibility, you would never let a fox. Hello? Oh, okay. A fox drive. But then again, letting a teenager drive a car airplane hot air balloon and soon to be airplane is not very responsible either.
I never saw that this is actually amphibian vehicle because it just changed from skis to.
It's very. Swipe actually came up with the idea himself.
Oh.
He told me. So
Yes.
genius. This game has way too many obstacles. So after this, we go to the hardest movement section of the game. It's China. Luckily, Dora is very knowledgeable in China.
Look how she's shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling.
So we've been me and the Dora community have been trying for ages to find out of bounds skips here. We were very close once, but then we realized it's a meme game and nobody really cares. So I know you're wondering. I'm wondering too.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot. Shoot. Go ahead. You can go.
All right, we have some donations to go through here. We have $8 from Philotrax. Looking forward to Nintendo's game of my childhood. And we also have $20 from Manojira. Hey Sook, please take care of our boy Bombay. Big shout out to everyone involved in this awful blog. And they both donated to have the dog in Nintendogs, which is the run after this, been named Bombay. And because of that, he now took the lead. So if you want Bombay to win, or if you want someone else to win, you should get your donations in right now.
If you have still some donations, we can still go. He needs to concentrate on this part right now.
True.
Alright, then I'm gonna take this time instead to shout out to Western Digital Black. Western Digital Black is one of our returning partners for ESA. The Western Digital Black NVMe SSDs provides the speed that all our speedrunners need for this run.
Because of Western Digital, actually this game runs even faster now. The loading times, thanks to these HDDs, are
fantastic.
We would have even had to up the estimate 5 minutes, but thanks to those HDDs, we can actually have it on 30 minutes now.
Pretty much the only reason I'm gonna make estimates, I think.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna refrain from making any more statements about my estimate till I see the final time.
So we are coming up to the last section.
Probably the hardest. There was some very active discussion about this in the Discord. There was a glitch where Dora just slides along and the animation glitched out. Thank you very much to Game for discovering this. He did a frame-by-frame comparison, and it turns out it doesn't matter.
So we actually see now what is the whole story why Dora wants to go to the place where she's going. Actually, she's on her way to a marriage.
Yes, and I won't answer any questions about that marriage whatsoever. Thank you very much.
And
time!
Woo!
I did it. Who'd have thought? So, I want to give a quick shout out to the entire Dora community consisting of me, Red, and that was kind of it. However, we do have a Speed Dora Discord channel that you are allowed to join if you are a epic Dora speed gamer like myself.
And if you're not afraid of 100,000 people that already joined last year.
Yeah, that is true. The Discord is very, very active every once in a year. So you go to the speedrun.com, click it, join, good stuff, run Dora. See you. Thank you very much, ESA. Thank you very much for being here.
You did well!